Einen recht schönen guten Tag. Mein Name ist Achim Bayer. Ich vertrete die Arbeitsgruppe, die das Erinnerungsprojekt der Stolpersteine in Leipzig organisiert. Und eure Schule war ja schon öfter bei Stolpersteinverlegung dabei. Nicht, dass ihr euch wundert, Herr Demmlich, der Initiator des Ganzen, ist heute nicht da. Und ich freue mich, dass wir mit Kai Heller und Lars vom städtischen vom städtischen Eigenbetrieb Behindertenhilfe tatkräftige Unterstützung haben. Wir sind hier, weil wir hier ein Projekt des Erich-Zeigner-Haus mit dem Kepler-Gymnasium umsetzen. Und ich würde Sie und euch bitten, dass ihr euer Projekt vorstellt und uns in das Schicksal der Familie einweiht.
Ich würde es ganz kurz auf Englisch übersetzen.
Ja.
So this is Achim Bayer from Stolpersteine Leipzig, who are guiding this project for many years already, and together with the Zeigner House they have the school project with 2 schools, I think, and the students will now introduce their project.
Hallo und herzlich willkommen zu diesem besonderen Tag, der Stolpersteinverlegung. Wir möchten uns für Ihr zahlreiches Kommen bedanken, insbesondere die Nachfahren der Familie Nemann.
Hello and welcome to this special day, the laying of Stolpersteine. We would like to thank you for coming in large numbers, especially the descendants of the Nemann family, Edna, Ronny, Ilan, Ricky, Ido and Hadas.
Zuerst wollen wir uns das UNESCO-Team einmal kurz vorstellen.
Mein Name ist Melanie und ich übernehme den englischen Part der Rede. Ich bin total emotional während der Bearbeitung geworden, weil es ein aktuelles Thema ist und wir so viele persönliche Dinge uns anschauen durften. Ein Beispiel wäre der rege Postkartenverkehr zwischen den 2 Kindern und Eltern und wie sie ihre Gefühle und Gedanken niedergeschrieben haben. My name is Melanie and I'm doing the English part of the speech. I got totally emotional during the editing because this is a totally current topic and we were allowed to look at so many personal things. An example would be the lively postcard traffic between the 2 children and their parents and how they wrote down feelings and thoughts.
Hallo, mein Name ist Nele und ich bin dankbar, dass ich an diesem Projekt teilnehmen konnte. Es ermöglichte uns, die Verfolgten und ihr Leben besser zu verstehen und nachzuvollziehen. Ich bin sehr berührt von den Dingen, welche wir in Verbindung mit dem Projekt erlebt haben. Hello, my name is Nele and I'm thankful having a chance of taking part in such an amazing project, which gave us the chance to better understand and connect with the persecuted and their lives. I'm really appreciating the things we did in connection with this project.
Hallo, mein Name ist Pia und ich halte den deutschen Part der Rede. Ich bin dankbar, dass wir dieses Stolperstein-Projekt mitmachen durften, weil es sehr wichtig ist, über dieses Thema zu informieren und sich damit auseinanderzusetzen. Besonders emotional fand ich den Film, in welchem die Nachfahren der Familie auf den Spuren ihrer Vorgänger gereist sind. My name is Pia and I'm giving the German part of the speech. I am grateful that we were allowed to participate in this Stolperstein project, because it is very important to inform about the topic and to deal with it. I found a film in which the descendants of the family traveled in the footsteps of their predecessor, particularly emotional.
Hallo, mein Name ist Nele. Ich bin sehr dankbar für die Gelegenheit, in den letzten 2 Jahren an diesem Projekt gearbeitet zu haben, da es ein wichtiges Thema ist und war, über das gesprochen werden muss. Ich kann den anderen auf jeden Fall zustimmen, dass ich es sehr emotional fand, zum Beispiel das Video, was wir uns angeguckt haben, aber ich fand es auch sehr interessant, immer mal wieder mit verschiedenen Arten von Dokumenten gearbeitet zu haben. My name is Nele. I'm really thankful for the opportunity to work on this project over the past 2 years, as it was and still is an important topic that needs to be talked about. I can definitely agree with the others that, for example, the video was very emotional. However, I also found it really interesting to work with different kind of documents from time to time.
Hallo, mein Name ist Tim und ich bin leider erst sehr spät zu dem Projekt dazugekommen. Bin allerdings trotzdem sehr dankbar, dass ich an einer meiner Meinung nach so wichtigen Sache teilnehmen darf. Hello, my name is Tim and I'm pretty late to this project, to be honest, but I'm still really thankful to have this opportunity to participate in it.
Wir sind derzeit in der 12. Klasse am Johannes-Kepler-Gymnasium und mit Hilfe der Unterstützung des Erich-Zeigner-Haus e.V. tauchten wir erstmals in ihre Familiengeschichte ein. Dabei recherchierten wir vordergründig ihr Schicksal unter dem nationalsozialistischen Regime. Uns ist es wichtig, dass wir an die Leiden der verfolgten und ermordeten Bevölkerung in der Zeit zwischen 1933 und 1945 erinnern.
We are currently in the 12th grade at the Johannes Kepler Gymnasium. With the help of the Erich Zeigner Haus e.V., we dived into your family history for the first time. In doing so, we ostensibly researched their fate under the National Socialist regime. It is important for us to remember the suffering of the persecuted and murdered people in the time between 1933 and 1945.
Was sind Stolpersteine? Das Kunstprojekt wurde 1992 vom Kölner Bildhauer Gunter Demnig gestartet. Heute vertritt ihn Achim Bayer. Es wurden seit Beginn über 90.000 Stolpersteine in ganz Europa verlegt, um an die Verbrechen und die Opfer aus der Zeit des Nationalsozialismus zu erinnern. Die kleinen 10 x 10 cm großen Betonsteine mit der charakteristischen Messingoberfläche erinnern an das Schicksal von Menschen, die in der Zeit des NS-Regimes vertrieben, deportiert und ermordet wurden. Eingraviert in die Oberfläche sind die Namen der Opfer, ihre Geburts- und Todestage sowie Hinweise zu ihrem Schicksal. Die Stolpersteine werden in der Regel in den Fußweg vor dem letzten freiwillig gewählten Wohnort oder der Lehr- bzw. Arbeitsstätte gelegt. Das Vorbeugen, um die Inschriften lesen zu können, gilt als symbolische Verbeugung vor den Opfern. Das Stolpern ist hierbei nicht wörtlich gemeint, sondern geistig und emotional.
What are Stolpersteine? The art project was started in 1992 by the Cologne sculptor Gunter Demnig. Today he is represented by Achim Bayer. There have been more than 90,000 Stolpersteine laid throughout Europe since the beginning to commemorate the crimes and victims from the National Socialist era in Europe. The small 10 x 10 centimeter concrete stones with the characteristic press surface commemorate the fate of people who were expelled, deported and murdered during the Nazi regime. Engraved into the surface are the names of the victims, their dates of birth and death, as well as information about their fate. The Stolpersteine are usually placed in the footpath in front of the last voluntarily chosen place of residence, or place of teaching or work. Leaning forward to read the inscriptions is considered as a symbolic bow to the victims. The stumbling is not meant literally, but spiritually and emotionally.
So, ich glaube, der nächste Punkt auf dem Programm ist jetzt tatsächlich die Verlegung und die zwei Herrschaften sind ja auch schon sehr fleißig dran. Deswegen würde ich sagen, wir geben dem jetzt ein bisschen Raum, schauen uns das an und danach würde ich dann an Ilan Nemann weitergeben, der Sohn von Gideon Nemann, der uns ein bisschen was über die Familie erzählen will.
Ilan, how much are you telling about their story, or is that something that I should introduce?
I'm telling.
You're telling, okay. Also ich überlasse das der Familie selbst, ihre Vorfahren vorzustellen. Vielleicht stelle ich noch kurz die Familie vor. Also wir haben 5 Steine für 5 Familienmitglieder. Die Eltern Willi und Hanna hatten 3 Kinder, Miriam, Gideon und Jochen. Und Miriam und Gideon sind 1939 nach Palästina gegangen und Jochen war zu klein für diese Art der Jugendauswanderung und blieb bei den Eltern in Leipzig und wurde mit denen zusammen 1942 deportiert. Und es ist niemand wiedergekehrt. Erst nach dem Krieg hat die jüdische Gemeinde der Familie mitgeteilt, wohin ihre Verwandten deportiert wurden. So to the Nemann, I gave an introduction to who you are in relation to the stones that we are placing today. And yes, and now we will watch and listen to the noises, and then afterwards Ilan can share his story. Okay.
My name is Ilan Nemann. I'm the grandchild of Willy and Hannah Nemann and the nephew of Jochen Nemann. The Nemann's house was a piano house. We just heard a piano piece from the notebook for Anna Magdalena Bach, so familiar to any girl or boy practicing their first year piano lessons. Imagine this house, full of life, ordinary life. Imagine yourself passing here on this pavement, hearing these same notes played on the family's piano by Miriam Nemann or Jochen Nemann, a piano piece written in 1725 by probably the most legendary Leipziger of all times, Johann Sebastian Bach. What a contrast between what was created here in Leipzig in 1725, a cultural masterpiece, to what happened in this very same place 2 centuries later, the worst barbarities of all times. An ordinary family of 3, trying to live an ordinary life, of law practice, community activities, of sports and charity, and ordinary school studies. But in Germany then, living an ordinary life was asking for too much if you were a Jew. During those tough years, our grandfather was deeply involved in trying to help Leipzig Jews escape the country. Luckily, Willy and Hannah Nemann succeeded to send my 15-year-old father, Gideon, and his 18-year-old sister, Miriam, Ronnie's mother, to Israel. Tragically, Willy failed. That might happen a few times more. Tragically, Willy failed in saving his wife, his youngest child, and himself. In his last heartbreaking postcard to my father, he wrote, "I put the community above all and neglected our own emigration." On May 10th, 1942, Willy, Hannah, and Jochen Nemann, my grandfather, my grandmother, and their 14-year-old son, were forced onto the DA-27 transport train from their hometown Leipzig, 2,000 kilometers eastward to Poland, to a small town named Belgice. There, boarding the train is the last trace we have of them. They were then murdered in the Sobibor extermination camp, or earlier in Belgice. Nobody returned to Leipzig from the DA-27 transport. So after intolerable years of intimidation and terrorization, imprisonment and brutality, the Nemanns were transported and murdered on the sole mission of making Leipzig Judenfrei, a mission which, to our horror, was executed with remarkable efficiency and success. From 13,000 Leipzig Jews before the war, the number of Jews in Leipzig by the end of the war stood at 24. In Israel, Miriam, and Gideon both built their new families and founded a new state, the State of Israel. 9 years after they escaped from Germany to Israel, Israel became an independent state. And this was achieved by people like Gideon and Miriam Nemann, fighting against all odds to do the unprecedented, to build a state for a nation that lost its independence 2,000 years ago, its people scattered over the entire world. This is a point well worth noting. The attitude of our parents, the Holocaust escapists, was that their mission is to leave behind the atrocities they experienced and build a new and normal life for their children. Compared to other nations and people who are devoting their life and their children's lifetime to try to reverse the irreversible essence of history, I find this attitude of our parents inspiring. Don't look back at your original homeland that betrayed you and murdered your dad, your mom, and your brother. Look forward. You're a Jew, and your new homeland is your old homeland, Israel. Build it, and be sure you build it well. Be sure you build it strong, and build it proudly. The presence of the Nemanns here today, the grandchildren of Willie and Hannah Nemann, Ronnie and me, together with our children, Willie and Hannah's great-grandchildren, is of course a moment of great emotion for us. A moment that emotionally would not have been possible from our side if not for the outstanding Stolpersteine initiative. Allow me to concisely elaborate on the emotional barrier I am crossing today. I was born 13 years after my Leipzig grandparents were murdered. Of course, I have never met my grandparents, and surprisingly, I was never indoctrinated against Germans by either my Leipziger father or his Leipziger sister. Still, I never chose to visit Germany. This was never an option. There was this huge emotional barrier, this 10-ton burden of history on my shoulders, which meant for me one thing. For you, visiting Germany is not an option. For you, it is something that simply is not done. Today, I'm breaking this paradigm. I want to deeply thank the Stolpersteine people and organization for enabling this. I want to thank the school students that took the Nemann Family Project and learned about our family. And I want to thank Dr. Jutta Fendrich and Dr. Yuval Lubovich for their unique help and research. I have my deepest appreciation for the young German generation learning the Holocaust. I find that the interest itself is encouraging. This mind switch, that the Holocaust is German history, not less than it is Jewish history, is strengthening my belief in a better future. It reinforces my faith in education. Education is the one and only vaccine against anti-Semitism and racism. And as history has proven, this vaccination is not for life. The education vaccine against anti-Semitism needs to be renewed regularly. This is our only known method to prevent the most horrible crimes performed right here from reoccurring. Thank you all very much for this very touching moment.
I would like to continue with a short poem in English. Moshe Kluka, The Last Survivor. I'm the last one left. From the depths I call out to you. My soul calls out for the hope. I stayed alive even though I died. I'm the last one left. I remained a human being even when I was just a number. A loaf of bread is something that you eat, but under the pillow it I would always keep. And in the relay race I was left alone. The torches read now from hand to hand, taking from me everything, like I'm the burning bush. You will remain here to tell the story. I'm the last one left, still attached to the Israelites in the desert. I have no rest, I wander and roam. All that remains are the memories from the cattle cars. I'm the last one left, returning now to provinces of the past. This grass is green and red. I call out to you, Mother Nature. And in the relay race I was left alone. The torches raid now from hand to hand. Take everything from me. I'm like the burning bush. You will remain here to tell the story. There are millions of eyes staring at me now. How can I give up? I'm the last one left to tell the story.
Hello everybody, my name is Ronnie. I'm the son of William Nemann, who lived and play in the garden below the house. I was speaking slowly so Ilan will help me.
I'm Ronnie. I'm the son of Miriam, who lived here
And play in the garden.
and played in this the garden right inside this house.
I'm deeply emotional for the very big project. Was here and see all the neighbors, the people, and the boys, and the very intelligent girls who are here together with us. I think that today there are many, many people in the world who want to deny that there is anything like anti-Semitism. But this huge process for a lot of people who devoted 2 years to learn it. But we promise us that things will not be forgotten. We are very, very, very thankful to you that you did your work and you studied for 2 years. All the process of the so thank you very much.
I think everyone got it. Okay. Again, I spoke too many words, but I don't have enough words to say how much we're thankful.
Thank you very much.
So, we put here 5 candles in memory of our beloved.